Natasha Romanoff got done dirty. Nobody could deny that a character who debuted in Iron Man 2 to such excitement and acclaim got far less than her due on screen and off in merch and even video games. Her solo film ended up coming a year too late after being scheduled, frankly, 8 years too late. But nobody could deny Scarlett Johansson brought Nat to life perfectly and that her character shaped the film universe. While the solo film deserves probably neither the denigration nor the accolades from two firmly entrenched camps, the cast and the director did a hell of a job making a fun summer action film that was refreshing debut of some new characters as well, with some minor exceptions. Yeah, we'll get to that part because I'm not upset with it, but it wasn't great, just not for the reasons that you think. I'm Dan Umphin, and this is the Doomcast. Hey, thanks for watching. I drop about one video a week, so if you'll do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and the little bell. Thank you. It's become a little en vogue to shit on Marvel movies and TV, and I get it, they're not really cinema, as I've previously argued, and they're firmly pro-American, pro-military propaganda. However, they're mostly fun, mostly engaging, mostly enjoyable translations of comics that I like, and I judge them as such. They aren't high art filmmaking, and I tend not to judge them as such unless they aspire to be something bigger than they are, like WandaVision or Loki, and then I meet them where they are in my criticism. That said, Black Widow was fine. I'll get to why, but please be aware that from here on out, there are spoilers, and if you don't want them, you really need to turn this off right now. Please and thank you. Natasha uncovers, along with the help of her adopted sister and Red Room survivor Yelena, a gas created as an antidote to chemical brainwashing and control. And turns out that there is still an operating Red Room which trains and deploys an army of skilled Black Widow assassins around the globe, meaning Marvel has 2 extra-national armies of female super soldiers and 0 male super soldiers, well, any decent ones, any longer, and that's sort of cool, but anyhow. Red Guardian isn't exactly a super soldier in the same way that Cap is, but he does have sweet nucktats that say Karl Marx, which would be pretty awesome if you were a punk in a bar in 1987. But somehow Red Guardian and Melina were deployed as Soviet spies, I guess, in the year like 1995-ish Ohio, 4 years after the fall of the Soviet Union. And 5 years after Nirvana released Smells Like Teen Spirit on Nevermind, but I get that placing Nat there in 1991 would mean a strong female character over the age of 35 and danger, danger. That would mean portraying Florence Pugh, who is even better in this movie despite the script, is 31 instead of 25, which, we can't have that either. So it makes 0 sense for a guy who is so committed to Marxism that he'll get nucktats that say Karl Marx to work with an oligarch and imperialist undercover for 3 years, but it also makes no sense for them not to play an acoustic cover of something like, for example, Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby or 9 Inch Nails or something else that was released in 1995 or 1996. Not Nirvana, but oh well, whatever, never mind. They break their drunk dad out of prison because I guess he's the only key to finding their mom, who's the only key to finding this Dreykov guy. And at no point is it clear who actually created the antidote. Maybe they addressed it, but most of the time it's not clear which city they were in, but I was also very drunk in the theater, so I can't really say anything other than it's great to be back at the movies. Anyway, they find Dreykov, whose daughter Nat killed like 10 years ago, and they discover that he has some chemical thing where he's conditioned subjects who can't harm him if they can smell his pheromones, which is very appropriately gross because can you fucking imagine how Ray Winstone smells? I mean, can you fucking imagine? It probably smells like tea and decaying food. Like he probably smells like coffee, sweat, and eggs that got drenched in aqua velva. Ray Winstone looks like he smells like the bathroom of a Russian restaurant. A little less cocaine, but still maybe a little bit of booger sugar in there. Ray Winstone looks like he smells like he sells Chevys, and baby, he needs this sale. Ray Winstone looks like the kind of guy that you're at like an Aerosmith concert or some boomer band or something like that, still touring, and you go into the bathroom to take a pee, and then the guy like walks up next to you and starts peeing in the trough next to you, and you're like, God, this guy's pee stinks so fucking bad. This is the grossest shit I've ever smelled in my entire life. And you look over and you're like, yeah, that guy smells like absolute dog ass. This is disgusting. Anyway, she breaks her nose, which I guess means that you can't smell at that point. I don't even know if that's true, but whatever. She finds out that Taskmaster isn't a guy, but actually a female cyborg and Dreykov's daughter, sort of like Darth Vader or Terminator combo, but a woman. Turns out I have a problem with part of this, not what you think though. We'll talk about that soon, so please keep watching. Melina helps scuttle the Red Room, and Yelena, a trained assassin and spy who should know better, decides to attack a turbine with a bow staff, and then leaps from the explosion and is saved by Natasha, who also saves Taskmaster with some of the red dust stuff. And there's a post-credits scene where Contessa Elaine Bennis explains that Hawkeye killed Nat, and Yelena, who is just ready to fuck Jeremy Renner up, which I am pumped for because fuck that guy for real. I hate his face. So glad he's gonna get the shit beat out of him. Anyway, despite this dressing down of the movie, for the most part, it is mostly fun and exciting. Slightly corny sometimes. Theater, and it was really fun to watch an action movie in the theater. That's really all it was. If I'm giving it a number or a letter, I'm gonna give it like a B+, 7 and change, somewhere in that neighborhood. But as for Taskmaster, Marvel, what are you doing? And no, you comics gator incel nerds, don't even start clapping because I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. Here's the thing. I do not care if you make smaller or side characters women. I don't even care if you make major characters women. That's fine. Even Taskmaster, who I love and think is a lot of fun, that is fine. In fact, you could have made Hawkeye Kate Bishop from the jump in like 2010. Anyway, folks, here's my issue, okay? Taskmaster isn't an emotionless, mind-controlled cyborg, okay? Not at all. Taskmaster is a mouthy, amoral, hyper-competent mercenary and assassin who will literally take out anything for the right bidder. And their powers, such as they are being able to duplicate literally anything that they see done, but are otherwise just like Hawkeye and Black Widow, aka totally regular human beings. Again, it doesn't matter what their gender is, don't get me wrong. As presented, Taskmaster worked on screen for the purposes of the story in a way that made sense. But the gender swap actually works better if you keep that part of the essential character, because you've then created a hyper-competent, super powerful, really intimidating, and very compelling female villain that you can use over and over again for years. Taskmaster fits into so many parts of Marvel and is one of the few characters that truly can and does, both in the spy world, Avengers, street-level New York, occasionally cosmic, as well as the X-Men via Deadpool, and other little subsets. Also, the color scheme and the powers are undeniable. But it's all good. That's fine. They made the choice that they made. Not liking it may not make you a misogynist, but being a misogynist isn't a good reason to dislike a character as portrayed. So, anyhow, I'm glad Black Widow finally got her due, and I'm glad that ScarJo swapped out for Florence Pugh. Accidental bars might steal your girl, catch a charge, living large, front curls like to barge, step off, step back. Black Widow was a fun movie. It isn't high art, it isn't perfect, it's good for what it is. I'm glad movies are back, I'm glad popcorn flicks are back, and I'm glad that we got an on-screen Taskmaster for whatever it's worth. I can't say that that's going to happen for a lot of my favorite D-list Marvel characters. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, I don't know what to tell you. It's right down there. Hit the bell. You should for the rhymes alone. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again next week.